This is the story of paleontology. What's paleontology, you say? It's the study of the past, uncovering the mysteries of ancient Earth through the study of rocks and fossils. Our story begins with the discovery of an enormous thigh bone in 1787 New Jersey by an unknown man who missed the chance to become legendary. At the time, of course, dinosaurs were unknown, and this man knew very little about who this bone could have belonged to. So he sent it to Dr. Caspar Wistar, the nation's leading anatomist at the time. Unfortunately, he was also unable to identify the bone's origin. He gave it very little attention and left it in a storeroom to dust and eventually disappear altogether. He was not interested in the individual bones. Scientists at the time were interested in studying full animal skeletons. Little could one bone tell them without any adequate technology. Naturalists started collecting and assembling a giant elephant-like bone structure. They were so fascinated with the discovery to the extent that no one even cared to record it down in writing, until George Cuvier came along. He was the first one to write down a formal description of the discovery, and became known to history as the discoverer of the mammoth. Very soon after, a new interest was spiked by an Englishman called William Smith. He was fascinated with rocks and fossils. He found answers in studying rocks and how old each one was. He could make connections between the age of the rocks and the fossilized creatures surrounding them. A great contributor to the rock studies was a poor young girl called Mary Anning. She was especially talented at spotting out fossils and extracting them with great care and delicacy. She used to sell them alongside seashells in beautiful ornaments by the seashore. In fact, she was the source of the famous tongue twister. She sells seashells by the seashore. She was able to provide scholars with rich drawings and description of the fossils she extracted. Her findings provided so much to the field of paleontology, yet she still died in poverty with so little known about her. Paleontologists did not only study rocks and fossils. They also studied animal teeth to determine their species. A very devoted amateur paleontologist called Gideon Mantel gave his entire life to the collection of ancient animal teeth and bones. He made great discoveries, some of which were the Megalosaurus and the Hylaeosaurus. He was very fortunate in his scientific career. He had the greatest bone and fossil collection in all of Britain. However, he was not so fortunate in his private life. He ended up losing all his family and money, and his spotlight was stolen by Richard Owen, a young anatomist who specialized in animal anatomy. He studied animals on the inside. He observed their organs, limbs, skeletal structures, and muscle groups. He was able to provide a clear picture of a dinosaur's body and inner anatomy. In fact, the name dinosaur came from his description of the species as Dinosauria, or terrible lizards. Owen and Mantle were not on peaceful grounds and shared a terrible animosity. Due to their rivalry, they both competed to make the most discoveries. This led them to make great contributions to the scientific community. And that's how paleontology came to be, the study of the secrets of the earth and the stories told within the fossils that contain them. After that, many discoveries were made, of course, but that's all history.